many people have changed and recreated themselves. I think it really is just about proving to yourself and others that you can start something and finish it. I'm Linda Blackerby, and I'm currently the Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer at Informa, which is a publicly traded company that's very global. It's based out of the UK, but has a very big presence in the US, as well as all of North America and Asia Pacific, along with Europe. And there are currently about 10,000 employees in the business. What I'm trying to do is to help create the most inclusive and culture that we possibly can, and help Informa become more diverse over time, because we also know that businesses are way more successful when they have diversity of thought. It can create innovation faster. And also, we all want to work for the kind of business where everybody wants to come to work. We all want to know that that's the kind of culture that we're creating. I have reinvented myself several times, which is was never planned or intentional from the beginning, but definitely has worked out that way. So when I left university, my degrees were in business administration and accounting, and I actually did work for the first 10 years as a certified public accountant, which is kind of similar to a chartered accountant, if you will, in the UK. And I worked for what's now called KPMG. That was one of my first jobs. And I did do that for 10 years. And then I wanted to stay home with my small children. So I did that for about 4.5 years. And I really didn't know if I would go back to work or not. But I did find that I felt more fulfillment, I guess, in my life if I was working, and I chose to go back to work. But I reinvented myself for the first time then as a sales professional. I ended up in the pharmaceutical sales realm. I think that one of the best ways to demonstrate your willingness to contribute as much as you can to a business, which then gets noticed and creates opportunities, is to be a team player. In whatever way, shape, or form that you might be able to offer that. Even when I was in sales as we call it, an individual contributor, my job is to just sell as much as I can, and I'm successful if I do the right work. It's not that my success is through others. When you're a sales manager, it's about helping other people be successful. But when you're an individual contributor, there's the opportunity, if you will, or the risk, whatever you want to call it, to just be really singularly focused on me, and what I'm doing, and I don't really have to worry about anyone else. But even then, I really enjoyed being a team player, and I think that that's how I ended up in a more senior sales management role, is that I'm always willing to collaborate with others, to share best practice, to help train another new hire, and all of those things raise your visibility in a company, right? It shows some amount of maturity as well, which is important. Anytime, I think, you just have to be through formal teaching when you're helping others, training others, just sharing something you've learned, best practices. Again, I think you learn as much from that as others do. And I think it can help raise your own confidence, right? And it also, I think, just helps other people notice someone in a career environment, right? Sometimes we're in big offices now, we're all working from home. How do you raise your profile? Well, I think it is about willingness to sometimes go above and beyond your job description and help someone else, or volunteer for a project that needs a little bit of something extra. So I think those are some of the ways that people can build their own skill sets and be in charge of their own career path. But when I first got out of college and I started work at one of the big accounting firms in public accounting, working towards becoming a CPA, at that time, it was considered a really big deal, and it was novel that 15% of this new workforce was female. So we were very underrepresented at that time. I was aware of it, I guess, but, No one said I couldn't go and do it. So I didn't see that there were barriers per se. But what I can only look back on now and understand and realize better is that I wasn't getting the same information as the men were around how to succeed. It was about the men were, more than likely going out in groups for a drink after work or whatever. And I wasn't doing that or wasn't invited or didn't realize. And so they're getting the word. If you come in on Saturdays and work overtime, that's part of that, how you get ahead here. No one ever told me that, so I never did it. It's like, so some of it is about that, trying to understand what's going on sometimes when you are part of an underrepresented group that you don't understand, and I think one of the best ways to do that is, again, the more of a team player you are, the more people you're going to know and the more you're helping yourself build your network. Because I think one of the things I also didn't understand well and didn't do well early in my career, and of course, we're talking before the internet, before cell phones, before all of this, networking was not as easy as maybe it is today, right? But, or it's easier today, but it's still, you have to make that effort to network. And I think networking is, again, really important because it's sometimes how you find out things or you learn things that you didn't know to ask, because you don't know what you don't know, right? I think being flexible and willing to give things a try. I don't think you have to know exactly what you want to do with the rest of your life, but being willing to gain experience by being more flexible about trying things, I think, and again, that marries, I think, with persistence and patience, right? Being willing to put in the time to finish and start something, and not believe that you've mastered something within 1 or 2 years, be willing to recognize that you can still learn and grow. And then I think the other piece of advice comes back to, because I think they're related, is also that teamwork / networking. The more people you know, the more people you talk to, the more you're going to learn, the more you'll understand, the things that you didn't know. And, that can lead to so many different things. It can lead you to a different kind of career path or type of role you want to play somewhere, or a way to increase your skill sets and knowledge in the role you're doing. I don't think I understood that at an early age in my career at all. And I think it would have been hugely useful if I did.